it's one of those feelings when you like walk in and like you feel like important and special and stuff like that because I love Goyard. Okay, you guys, I have some
great inside scoop about Goyard. I got some secret info
from the former manager of Goyard. Where my Goyard gang at? Where my Goyard gang at? Where my Goyard gang at? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mike and I'm a fashion freak, a Goyard geek, a luxury lover, a shopaholic, chic shithead. And today's video obviously is a Goyard video because
Goyard gang,
Goyard gabbing, Goyard gabbing, Goyard gabbing, Goyard gang, Goyard gang, Goyard gang. Obviously, I couldn't go to Paris and not get something from Goyard, or a few things. You know me, can't help myself. So today's video is going to be about my Goyard shopping experience, French fashion fall saga, France saga of my shopping experiences in Paris, November 2022. And today's video is going to be about my Goyard shopping experience, what I got, the shopping experience, what it's like to in the store, quantities, talking, planning, appointments, what it's like get in the store, getting there, waiting in line, all like the whole Goyard experience, quotas, everything like that in France, and what I got, which as I mentioned in the other videos in the series, I already unboxed everything and already started using things, so I'm not gonna re-unbox them. I'll just post the quick unboxings that I did in France and then talk about them and talk about the whole experience in one video. You guys stay tuned to the end because I have some juicy gossip I heard about Goyard from the former manager of the store. So if that's what you're interested in, please stick around, please smash that like button, please consider subscribing, and keep on watching. Keep on watching, keep on watching, keep on watching. Okay, so obviously I got a bunch of stuff. All these shopping bags are empty, so Goyard. Goyard. We don't look at any of the shopping bags, but I will first, so obviously I had to get stuff from Goyard, you guys, because you know Goyard is my favorite. So I want to talk about the whole experience. Also, maybe some issues, some drama, some future drama, some questionable drama. There's a lot of Goyard. I know Goyard is like my favorite brand, and it's like what I've talked about a lot in a lot of my videos. But I think I've been a little Goyard obsessed, and I'm starting to move a little bit away from it as I discover more of these brands, as I discover more boutiques, and as I discover other things. I love Goyard. I still always love Goyard. I'm still going to get as much as I can. I still have my goals and dreams of getting one in every color, of one of every bag in every color at some point. It's more of my collection stuff, more of the limited edition stuff I want to collect and have and stuff like that. I do want to talk about, probably going to do another video about Goyard in general, about my future with the company, the brand. A little drama and a little bit on the experience of Paris. But anyway, let's talk about Paris. So we're here to talk about Paris. What's the best way to organize this? So I'm going to right now, I'm just going to post all of the unboxings of things I got because they're literally sitting here. So I got this beautiful artois, the GM size in navy. I got a St. Louis in orange. I got this Boeing 25 in red. I got a card holder in green, and I got this little keychain thingy. Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about the whole experience. So first of all, Goyard doesn't do appointments anymore, so you can't like it. I think if you're new or if you are trying to go in, Goyard's like I think their whole thing is changing because people, again, another thing with like the reselling and like the whole real and people not knowing the price and people being able to charge whatever price they want because they don't know the price kind of thing. So I think Goyard is moving away from, look, I love them, but they've never really been about like getting volume or numbers or having a bunch of product out there. They're more about the customer experience and each customer enjoying the product and building that relationship with the person and having like a long-standing relationship with their clients they keep in these books, which I forgot to look at the book. I forgot to look at the history of Goyard. I forgot to look at all those things while I was there. I was so flustered and overwhelmed. I didn't even get to do all the things I want. They do kind of like shuffle you in and out a little bit. I didn't get to do that. I will say that I did really enjoy being there and seeing the flagship store, which I've been to a few times. But so they basically, so back to what I was saying, they don't do appointments anymore. So like if you're new, if I schedule a new appointment, which I've tried to as a new person just to see, they don't do appointments anymore. Basically just walk in and stand in line. If you're a returning customer and have some, cachet or have been with a customer for a while, which I have a long sales history with them and I bought a lot, obviously, then they're a little more lenient. So like 2 months before I went, I emailed and got into contact with the main store. I spoke with my sales associate who I've worked with before, and then I spoke with the manager to get an appointment, and I scheduled an appointment. I scheduled one appointment. I tried to get 2, wasn't going to let me do 2. They don't give you inventory over the phone. They don't give you inventory via distance. They don't give you prices via distance. If you're ordering a distance sale, then they might give you a price via distance sale. Like if you say you want a distance sale order in France, they'll tell you the price, but then you have to have it shipped somewhere in France, or you can have it shipped to the store, but they only hold it for a certain amount of time. I don't know, there's a lot. This is gonna be a long video. This is gonna be a really long video. So I might have to like table this for a sec and do the actual stuff that I need to do. So yummy, so small and so cute. They're very secretive about everything. So I don't know how much I wanna say because I think I'm starting to get a little in trouble / flagged because I'm saying so much to you guys about them. So I don't know how much I'm gonna say here in this video. Or I mean, I'll try to keep it public knowledge with a little bit of insider info as much as I can. But basically I emailed with one of the managers and scheduled for an appointment to come there. I scheduled for it. He first was giving me afternoon times and I asked for the morning one because I think they have more inventory in the morning. And I think they get new shipments on Tuesday or Wednesday usually. So they don't get shipments on Saturday. So I scheduled it for Tuesday morning, which was the best time that I could go in to hopefully they had new inventory. I walked by the store every day. We were staying literally down the street on Rue Saint-Honoré. So I will go and see it. Every day there was a huge line. Literally every day around the corner. There's 2 Goyard stores in France, in Paris. There's one at Goyard on Rue Saint-Honoré and there's one at Printemps in the department store. Both places, huge lines. The security guard who I talked to, who's super nice, said it's usually like an hour to hour and a half wait if you get there first thing in the morning before 10. Then after 11, it starts to be a 2-hour wait. After 12 or 1, it's a 2.5-hour wait. And then it goes all the way till the end of the day. They cut off the line at like 6 or 6:10. And then they tell the last person, their last person. They do also ask you what you're looking for. They come in and they go through the line. Every now and then a sales associate comes in and goes through the line and asks you what you're looking for. Because if they don't have it, they're going to say, we don't have it. Don't wait in line. I don't know how much they like actually do versus don't. Plus the lady that did that with us said she had some things. When I went inside, they didn't have them. So it's kind of like, I don't know if it's hit or miss or if that sales associate didn't want to sell me what I wanted, even though they might have had it, because they also are like limiting the amount of quantities. So I've obviously bought way more than I should have at Goyard. Every year I buy a lot because I love it, but you're actually limited to 5 bags, 5 items a year, 2 bags, 3 SLGs, and 1 luggage piece. So trunk or travel piece, basically. So you're limited to 6 things a year, which I was way over. I've always been way over. They're a little more lenient in the US, I think. And if you have a good relationship with your sales associate than they are in France, but in France, they're super strict about it. So as I was emailing, he was like, you've already passed your quota for the year. I don't know what we can get you, but we'll try and see what we can get you. And so I was like, great, I'll just come in. So we'll try to make what we can work. And I had a huge list of things I wanted to get because I always have a huge list of things I want to get. And so basically, long story short, so I waited, even though I had an appointment, waited in line, met these lovely ladies from other ladies that were so fun, we bonded and connected. We talked about Chanel, we talked about Hermes, we talked about their shopping experience, we talked about Goyard. We waited in line with them for like an hour. And he kept telling us, no, you're not getting in, no, you're not getting in, no, you're not getting in. But he kept letting people in and he kept ending the line. It was like, so we were like next, he cut it off, so we didn't get in. But so I waited for an hour and we still didn't get in, but I waited till 6:30. He was talking to me in French, the security guard, and I guess expecting me to relay it to everyone else because he wasn't telling anyone else, but he was telling me the whole thing in French because I was talking to him in French, but he was explaining that they cut it off at 6:15. It's a one-to-one shopping experience. So 1 sales associate per 1 people. So that's why they do it. They only like take about 7 clients per hour, sometimes 6, sometimes 5. And then it's like, you know, you shop and then it's another 30 to 40 minutes. There's another line inside, 30 to 45 minutes for you to wait to actually pay in a separate line and do the VAT and all of that. So it takes a long time for each person to go through. Even if they're coming in and getting 1 or 2 things, they still are going to be there for at least like an hour. And the line is so long. So we stood in the line. This was like on Friday. We stood in line just because why not? And we wanted to see what they had and kind of wanted to ask inventory. And I asked for 2 things. I asked for the Caravelle and the Boeing, and they said they had both. So I was like, great, so we'll stay in line. Went through, didn't get in, but I learned a lot about it. Is they are very slow. They do like to go 1-to-1. There's 2 stores. The other side has the like small other goods and pets, but you can get stuff from there. From the store, they'll just walk you over, which a lot of the stores do. They just walk you from one store to the other, and they're starting to do it in the US too. Like Louis Vuitton has 2 stores now on Rodeo. They have a men's and a women's, and they just walk you over from one to the other. And then when we went to Dior, they walked us from one store to the other and brought products from one store to the other and back and forth. They can do that for you, but the line was just along the other side. But they also sell the small other goods at the main store too. It's a big store. I took some videos inside, but I don't think I'm going to post them because I think that like, again, I think I'm just being careful because they're very strict about not posting videos, and I already posted a video of inside the other store on my last couple of videos and may have gotten in trouble for it. So I don't think I'm gonna post a video of inside, but it's beautiful inside. They have all the items there displayed with prices. In the US, they don't display the prices, but in France, they have the prices displayed. It's way less than the US, everything, plus the VAT, plus the tax. It's way less overall, like stupid savings. You'd be stupid not to buy the stuff in France. For example, like the St. Louis PM is 1620 plus tax in the US, so it's like 1800, 1220 in France minus the VAT, so it's 1100. So it's like a $700 difference. Pretty big deal. Oh, also another thing they're doing for like new customers, I think, because they want to prevent, especially for the St. Louis, because that's the most popular bag and that's the one that resells. If you're buying it via distance or you're a new client, they make you buy the Necessaire bag with it, which is 480 euros for this basically like bag that goes inside it to be an organizer or like a shape, keep the shape. It's 480 euros and they make you buy that. So then it's 1600 or 1700 for the bag, which is pretty much very similar to US. They only did that with a new customer. When I asked at Printemps, do I need to buy the Necessaire? He was like, no. And then when we actually bought it, they didn't make us buy the Necessaire. So I think that's just like a distance thing if you're trying to do it, because distance sales. Oh my God, wait, I completely forgot. Okay, you guys, I have some great inside scoop about Goyard. I got some secret info from the former manager of Goyard. Top secret info about the whole process of Goyard and everything like that. I might do this in another video. I might do more about the whole experience in another video. So let me just do the unboxings and talk about the things I got in this video. And then I'll do the whole experience and other stuff in a separate video. Starting fresh. Waited in line, got in. It was like 30, 45 minutes. The sales associate, I think, knew me because him and his friends were whispering and they kept looking at me, and he was like, he said things to me that he wouldn't have been able to say because I didn't mention anything like, you're here from LA, or, you know, let me show you some bags that you don't have already. And he didn't have my name, nothing like that. He already knew, I think maybe they had watched my YouTube. My friend in France said that they keep a list of everyone, of people that they have people that monitor all this stuff. So if I'm posting YouTubes, that they probably have somebody monitored and somebody knew and somebody's watched them. Again, I don't post anything bad about Goyard. I love Goyard. It's my favorite brand. I talk about it all the time. I talk very positive things about it, but I do give a lot of information that maybe they don't want me to be giving, or maybe they don't want me to be giving, spilling all this info. So I think that there was a little bit of like, I tried to speak to him in French, started to sweet talk him, but he basically told me that I had met my quota for the year and I couldn't buy anything. And I was like, I came here all the way to buy stuff. I do want to buy stuff. Can I talk to the manager? Can I buy this? And I don't think that helped either, but it ended up being that he wouldn't let me buy anything under my account. So I was with my friend, and so he let my friend buy under his account. So I bought this. The first thing I got was this Boeing 25, which is what I wanted, under my friend's account. And so this is like a mini version of their duffel. Got it in red, because obviously more like a toiletry bag. I think like a cute toiletry bag. But this is like, I want to say like 15, maybe 18 in the US. This was 1,000 in France. So, and then I'll get the VAT back, I think. So it'll be like 800. That can't be right. I think that is right. 800 versus like 1,800 probably. So it's basically a little, you know, like trunk. Looks like that. These fold up. When I had to pack it in my suitcase, I kind of squished it down like this. It's got 4 corners with leather on it to kind of protect it. And then it's got these snap closures, which you can do like this. The Boeing other one, I think, has hooks here, but then if you like, the actual duffel has like hooks, so you can buy a separate strap and put it on like that. But then I think that this, over time, it bends and cracks here, and especially if you pull it, it'll start. There's something weird about it because they don't recommend you actually adding a thing. They recommend you just holding it by the handles. They don't recommend you actually adding a strap. Anyway, I found a way around that, which I might do a what fits in my bag and like ways to wear this. But I also bought this little munchkin, and I feel like I just put it right here, and then it is in place. And now I got a little wristlet for it, so I can wear it like that, which I think genius Maya. This little wristlet thing, 200 something euros. It's not actually a wristlet, it's a keychain, right? So I got this. Okay, wait, I'll talk about this in a sec, how I got it, but it's basically a keychain for your keys. And it was 200 something euros, and it's like 3 or 4 or 5 in the US. So savings all around. It's got one zipper. You open it up. It's got It's got a pocket on this side and a pocket on this side. So it's got 2 pockets. 2 open flat pockets, and then a big middle area. It can fit a lot. I mean, I obviously, like, I flattened it a little bit, but I also put stuff inside because the space was just gonna be empty. It's really cute, I think. I mean, you can also just kind of wear it like that. You can hold it like that if you want. But it's a Boeing 25. It was 950 euros, I want to say, or 920 euros. And it's way more than that in the US. So I got that the first day under my friend, but I asked him if I could get a bunch of other stuff. And he was like, no, you can't get this. No, you can't get that. No, you can't do that. You got to wait until next year. You can get as much as you can get 5 new things next year, but you can't get anything this year. And I was like, that was really disheartening. And I was really upset. And I wanted to talk to the manager who I had emailed with, but like, he just said hi in passing and then like kept doing other things. So I was like, okay. But I could tell this guy like didn't didn't really want to help me that much. He just wanted to, and it was the end of the day. I was his last person. I think that he just was like, sorry, here's what you can get. If you want it, great. If you can't, no. And this is considered trunks. This is considered like luggage and travel. So that was my one travel thing under my friend's account. And then I was like asking him about all these other things, and he was like, no, you can get that. No, you can't get that. I get that. He didn't give me his card. He wasn't like, he was just kind of like, okay, you get that. He wrapped it up. We went down, paid for it. My friend paid for it on his card and under his account. And then I wanted to ask a question about a different bag because I saw somebody walking around with a jet black bag, and I asked him if the jet black collection, if they had any jet black or powder pink or any of the silver, and he was like, no, we don't have any of those things. And then I saw somebody with a jet black one, and I was like, So I asked somebody else about it, and he was like, where's your sales associate? This other guy was really nice, really friendly, really, but he was like, where's your sales associate? And I was like, oh, he's over there. And he like went and grabbed my sales associate and brought him back to me. And I was like, do you have this? He's like, no. I asked him if he had any ANJOUs. He said no. St. Louis, no. ANJOU Mini, no. Artois, most of them, no. I asked for, we asked for an orange St. Louis. He said no. I said, do you have anything in orange? He said no. And I was like, how can you have nothing in orange? Do you have anything in orange to show? Like, we just wanted to see what the orange one looked like. And he's like, no, I don't have anything. I was like, okay, I'm just leave this guy alone. Doesn't really seem like he wants to be working with me. It's fine. There are other sales associates. Ended the conversation, left. Then the next day we went to Printemps, and at Printemps, it's the same thing. We went in and got in line. It was a long line, stood in line for like 30 minutes. And then I was like, we should just wait for my appointment, because I think the stock is less there and they don't have a lot of stuff and the line is wrong. So we left, came back at the end of the day, came at like 6:10, I think. They had closed off the line. But the security guard who was standing there outside the door, I had talked to him and I was like, hey, remember us? We came here earlier. We were waiting for a while and then we left. We wanted to come back. And he's like, I can't help you. The line's shut, but if you want to, you can talk to this lady. There's a side door, and I talked to the manager and I explained the situation. I said, hey, we've been waiting for an hour. We left. We just came back. We're at the end of the line. Can we just wait and see if they have time for us? Let us in. If not, no worries. And she was like, that's fine. She was super sweet. She's like, that's fine. I totally understand. We'll do that. Let me let somebody else know. She let another manager know because she's like, I'm leaving. She let this guy know and he said, yeah, we'll do our best to accommodate you and get you in. So then we stood in line, waited for an hour. We shifted the sign, had this sign shift behind us where it said the line ended behind us because it was the other guy was guarding it, the last person in line. And then we spent a lot of time talking to him. Same thing, Americans, talked about our mess, talked about the shopping experience, talked about GOYARD, talked about everything, connected. And then the security guard was like, you're in charge of the thing now. You have to make sure that nobody comes in behind you and you keep pulling this sign after you. So I kept doing it. Then I forgot for a second and these 3 other ladies tried to get in line and he was like, no, I shifted it back. Then 2 other people tried. Then there are people waiting. Once we got into, there were still people waiting, trying to get in. Then one of the sales associates was like, you're the last ones. We'll get you in. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. And he was super sweet. And then they let the couple in before us. We were last in line, closed off the line. He let us in. He said, sit down, relax. We'll get to you when we get to you. So we sat in and sat down. Much better, like much more casual, much more friendly experience than the main store, which the main store, I get it. It's like the flagship store. There's so many people coming in and out. There's like probably so many questions, so many like annoying customers and asking for so many things or wanting too many things or not knowing things and blah, 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 showing a lot of product and not buying things. And this was much more friendly department store feel. They had less, but they had everything we wanted there. So we asked for a St. Louis in the GM, he brought out the orange one, which I got. And then he brought it out in burgundy, in gray, and he said he had it in yellow and white, but we didn't want to see yellow and white. So, but he didn't have it in black, he didn't have it in red, he didn't have any other colors. So I was like, I like the gray one. I'll take the gray one. My friend will take the burgundy, the orange one. I was like, well, we were the last one there. The store was closed, but he was being super helpful and super friendly. He was explaining the process. I asked him about the caravel. He said, I could get the caravel, but I have to initial it if I get it. And it's on order, so I'd have to order it, and then it'd be here by, in a couple weeks, and I could have it brought. I could pick it up next time in France. Same thing with monogramming. He said, takes a little time. They can do heat stamping and monogramming, but heat stamping they can do a little quicker on the leather. Monogramming takes time, a couple weeks because they have to hand paint it. If you wanted to order anything like that, I asked him a bunch of questions. He didn't have any ANJOU. He had one ANJOU, but not the color I wanted. He didn't have any ANJOU PM minis. There were no backpacks, no Cis Alpines, no Alpine minis, no Saint Legers. They were out a lot of stuff. Basically, in general, they're just out of stuff. Either they're out a lot of stuff or they're not giving everything to everyone and they're only giving certain things to certain people. Because at the other store, I did ask for an Alpine too, and my sales associate said they didn't have any, but then I saw somebody trying one on. And I was like, she's trying one on. She's like, they must have been holding that for her. I was like, how are they holding it for her if I've asked for things to be held for me and you're not holding things for me? So that was a little confusing. There's so much story. But so then I was just like, I just want to pick up a couple other small things. But then I forgot my passport and he wouldn't let me do it without my passport because he needs an ID or passport to do it under my account, which I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't do it under my account and just do a new account because I obviously knew my quota was full. So we did them all under my friend's account. They didn't find his profile, so they created a new account for him. But eventually they did match them together. But so they created a new account for him. So I got this under him, which I wanted to get monogrammed, but then we didn't go back. I said I was going to bring it back and get it monogrammed because I wanted to like play with the colors and fonts and sizes, but we didn't go back. So I just got this and I got this little keychain thing. Like I mentioned, this was $225. I just grabbed it. I was just like, why not? because it could be like a bracelet. Also with, you know, which is kind of cool. And I love red. And it also actually fits Chai's neck as a dog collar if I really wanted to use it as a dog collar, but I wouldn't because I think this would pull too much, but I could just put like little tags on it and have it be as a little cute little dog collar because it's much cheaper than dog collar. But it's multi-purpose and it's so cute. And also, like I said, it's going to work as a little thing for this. So it's like, wow. So we got that, we got that, we got that. The day of my appointment comes and the security guard was like, I'll remember your face, I'll remember your face. And he's like, when you come here the next time, just stand on this side and I'll let you right in. And it was literally like, it was like, it's one of those feelings where you like walk in and like, you feel like important and special and stuff like that because there was like 100 people waiting in line. This was 11 a.m. on a Tuesday and there were already like it was like wrapped around all the way down there. I would say like, maybe not 100, but like 50 people. And I just come up to the front on the other side and they just let me in and everyone's like giving me death stares. Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? So they let me in my appointment. The lady I get is super nice, super helpful. She like talks me through everything. She talks my friend through everything, shows me a bunch of options. The first thing I said I wanted to see was the Artois GM. She brought out this color and a light blue. She said those were the only two she had. And then I asked her about monogramming it because I know that you get it for free with the Artois. And she said, you don't get it for free with the Artois GM. You get it free with the Artois PM and MM. And she said, but then she was like, if you want to monogram it, then I also have a red one. And I was like, She's like, that one's at the factory. We can have it monogrammed for you and then shipped here. And you can pick it up in a couple of weeks. So they have certain other ones that are available, but only if you're buying them for monogramming, which makes me think that maybe like red Artois is very popular and they don't want people to just buy it. And the monogramming thing also like, because it's like you're making it personalized yours and they know you're gonna keep it. That's the same thing. Like they made an exception. Like I talked to the manager, he made an exception for me to buy stuff monogrammed under my account, even though I'd hit the quota, but I couldn't buy stuff not monogrammed under my account. So like basically I ordered a Senate like pouch with my name on it and the Indian marquage of the year, which is the Taj Mahal thing. And we were gonna do it under my friend's account. I spoke to the manager and he's like, you can do it under your account. Had a whole conversation with him, which is a really long conversation basically. So she brought me out those two, this and the other one. And this one I'm already like, which I'm glad I actually got this because I ended up having this issue at the airport where they were like making me check another bag because I had too much stuff because I had packed everything. Basically, this saved me because if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have been able to carry all my carry-on stuff and I would have had to check some of my like stuff that I bought, which I didn't want to do. Obviously, I didn't want to check anything, the nicer stuff. So I was lucky I had this. So, but she brought this one out in the navy and then a sky blue one. And then she said the red one if I wanted to monogram it, but I decided I didn't want the red one I decided to go with this one over the sky blue because red and sky blue, I mean, this is a travel bag. I mean, it's huge. Look at how big it is. I mean, it is. This is what it looks like on. This is like a huge bag. It's definitely a travel bag. It's, I think, like 68 centimeters. It's got the four corners, you know, with leather enforced. It's got much thicker handles. It's got a zip at the top and it's got a lock. And then it's got very spacious inside. So I'm keeping it stuffed, obviously, keep the shape with the dust bag, but it's like very spacious inside. And it's got the lock key. And then it's got this floating goyardine pocket and a little button closure for that. These are red, as on all Artois. The stitching on this side is red, which is a, you know, throwback to their original house color of red. Also, I think I did it in another video, but you can take a strap, kind of put it through these holes and make this, like, just take another strap and put it through, and then kind of wear it crossbody. I'll do a separate video on like ways to wear this and all that kind of stuff. It smells so good. That's kind of it. It's huge. Love it. Anyway, so this sales associate, she was super helpful, super nice, really friendly. She was like, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this. They didn't have any St. Louis still. Or she told me I couldn't get any more St. Louis and he couldn't either because he had met his quota and I had met my quota. They didn't have any more ANJOUs. I asked if I could get this instead of a St. Louis. And she's like, no, you can only get 2 St. Louis a year. Cap is 2 St. Louis a year. And she was super helpful and friendly, and she was like, I talked about how the process of making custom trunk, and I'm going to send her like photos because eventually I want to make a custom trunk desk for myself out of the goyardine thing, which is like a big purchase and a big deal. But she's like, you just draw it and send it to me and we can go from there and we'll talk about price and stuff like that. That's a whole separate thing. And I think that also like sweetened it a little bit and also sweetened it with the manager because he was like, that's, you know, that's a separate thing. If you're interested in doing that, then we'll make exceptions. But just buying regular stuff, I think that they're really about it because like even when I asked to get a Saint piece, she was like, no. I think that their most common items, their most popular items, they don't want to sell too many of or sell multiple to the same person because they think people are just going to buy them and flip them and sell them, which makes sense because A, they're so much cheaper here. B, people pay over retail in the US anyway because nobody knows the price. Yeah, I don't know, A and B. I ended up going with this one because it was darker and it wasn't as like flashy. I think red is going to be a little flashier, and blue, light blue is also going to be a little flashier. For traveling, don't really need to be that bright. Like darker is better. I would have preferred a gray or didn't have any. I mean, I already have this in black and tan, and I haven't done an unboxing of it, but I have it. It's just sitting there. I kind of impulse bought this. I just wanted to get something because I felt like, so she was like, I can get whatever, but then she went back eventually and spoke with her manager, one of the other managers, who said, I can't get anything. And he was super strict, and he was the same person that probably said no to me last time. She's like, you can come back in January and buy 5 new things. It's not a problem. But for this year, you've met your quota. I don't think it was anything bad. I don't think it was anything about anything I posted. I don't think it was anything about talking about the company, because I've always been positive. I always loved talking about them. I think it was the fact that I had bought so much stuff, because they said I think I bought like 15 or something this year, which was way over the quota, which you guys know I've bought so much stuff and I've unboxed it all for you. So I think they were like, no. So she came back and told me, no, I'd have to buy it under my friend's account. So then we wrote up the Senat under my friend's account, and it was $10.90 for the Senat, which I think is normally $1,600. But then the Taj Mahal and the lettering marquage was $300 for that. Is $150 and $300. But then I was getting rose gold because I wanted to do metallic. So it was $600 and then $300. So it was $900. So it ended up being $2,100 for the Senat versus $1,600 in the US versus $1,000 for just the plain Senat. And I was like, I need to think about this. And they were like, it's totally fine. When I was in the line, they were like, it's totally fine. Here's the card, come back. But she was super helpful. She was like, she gave me her number. She's like, text me whenever you want, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then the manager came down, he talked to me, and he was like, I was like, look, I want to just see how, I know you had said there was ways to get around this. What's the ways to get around it? And this way to get around it right now is having your friend buy it. He said, if I wanted to buy personalized stuff, that's fine. If I wanted to go to the pet store and buy pet stuff, that's fine. If I wanted to get a custom made trunk thing, that's fine. But buying regular bags, I had met my quota for the year, so I couldn't buy anymore, which I totally get. They don't want that many. And he was like, look, in the US, it's completely different. You have a little more leeway. They're here at the headquarters, I guess. Like the offices are across the street or somewhere close by, and they have to get everything approved of purchases. Like having that many things under my name, it's a small family-owned company. It's not that big of a company. There's not that many employees, so like head guy would know, or it would be flagged. And so I think it's just like, it's also them not wanting to get in trouble and me not wanting to get me in trouble. So I said I was going to go think about the Senate, and I left, and then I texted her later, and then I had this whole thing happen with Cartier, which I'll explain in my Cartier video. But basically, I didn't have time to go back, so I didn't end up going to the Senate. But I texted her and asked her if I could buy it via distance sales, or if I could buy it and have it with a payment link and have it be ready for me when I pick up in January. And also I wanted to ask her a few other things about, we'll see, we'll wait. But she did respond to my other questions, and she's been responding, so I think it's fine. I just think that I asked her a lot of questions because I ask a lot of questions because I'm really annoying. Also, I did see somebody trying on the board. I asked her about the Bourget. She said she didn't have any of those. I asked Crossier. She said she had no Crossiers, no Boeings. You have to special order those, but you can special order that. It just takes time, but you can, but she didn't have any available. I also asked her about the Bourget. I saw the Bourget in black, and then I saw it, somebody brought it out in yellow and orange. The same nice guy that helped me last time was there, and he brought it out in yellow and in orange for other people, and I think they bought the orange one. Brought them out a pink one, and I asked her if there were any pinks, and she said there are no pinks left, but he brought her out a pink Poitiers, and she said the same thing. It was like they were holding it for her, and I was like, well, how do I get something held for me? But I didn't ask that. And also I saw the other one that was being held, the mini Alpine in black was being held for somebody. But so like the store is like downstairs, they have a bunch of displays and like that, and there's these big staircase that goes up and around and take you upstairs. Both times I went upstairs, I didn't stay downstairs. They keep some people downstairs and then they take other people upstairs. I don't know what the quota is for who goes up and who goes down, but upstairs is much more like mellow. There's only like 1 or 2 people. Downstairs is really crowded. Maybe upstairs is for the VIP people. Maybe. It can't be, because she wouldn't have known that. And the other guy took me up there too, but I don't know. But it was much more relaxed, and like there's the managers are working in the back room is there, and more things on display. But downstairs has like all the St. Louis and the classic stuff. Upstairs has more of the unique stuff, or the less known stuff. And so she gave it to me in a bag with a little raincoat over the bag, which is really cute because it was raining. And then I also asked for rain. I walked in with my St. Louis, and he'd walked in with his St. Louis. So they gave us 2 raincoats for our things too. Oh, I also asked about repairs. I asked about repairs about leather, and she said there's this place called Sapphire that's good for leather repairs, but they don't do any leather repairs, or if they do, it takes 3 to 4 months. They have to ship it out. It takes a lot of time. Same thing with cracks on the handles and the corners. I asked her on my rose gold if I could get those fixed. She said it's going to take 3 to 4 months, and she doesn't recommend me getting it right now because it's too new. But she said probably stop putting your laptop in it, because that's probably what's doing it, because I am starting to see cracks on my things and cracks on the corners, and I'll do another video about the wear and tear of that one, because that one's the one I use the most. But it is starting to crack, and it's only been, a year. It's been less than a year, and I don't even use it that much. So that's it's been more than a year, but I don't use it that much. But I do put my laptop in it every day. I do stuff it to the brim. So that's that. Okay, and then I guess my final little tidbit. So I met the former manager who I met. But I guess also Goyard keeps these like lists of people that they ban that they think are resellers, which I found out from a friend, and they ban you and then they won't let you go in ever again. And I guess they're just really worried about resellers, which I get it. Makes sense. People are trying to make a profit off of their work. So what I heard is that this guy worked at Goyard as the manager for years, and he used to, like, the store manager, general manager, he said they like to keep it exclusive because that's just, they like to keep the allure, they like to keep it separate, they don't like to like the prices, they like to like, that's their customer experience. The bags are made in the south of France. He said they used to be, so long ago, it used to be where black colors were the same price but the lower price, and then at some point they split them up and made the colors a higher price, but they originally used to be the same price for everything. And he said like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was like 600 euros for a St. Louis small, or like 700 and 800. It's crazy to think about because it was just 900 2 years ago. They probably kept it at the same price for a while until it started getting super popular. Obviously now it's really, really popular. That's why there's a line, 2-hour line the guy said there's a 2-hour line every single day, all day, every day at both the locations, rain or shine. Like, people were standing out in the rain. People did not care. They were standing out there and waiting. And their inventory is so low because they don't make that much. But I think that they do make more and they just don't tell you that they have it. So he also said that it was 600, 700, 800 euros for them back then. Then they made the prices higher, and now obviously they've moved it up to a higher price. He said that he would buy a St. Louis, which I don't know if I should be giving this information or not, or if I'm going to control it. He would buy a St. Louis from the factory for 85 euros a bag. 85 euros. You could pay up to $2,000 for this. 85 bucks for $2,000. So that is a lot of markup on the price. Also, he said that 85 euros was actually their price they paid. The actual cost to make it is 2.5 times less than that, so 25 euros. So these bags cost 25 euros to make for a St. Louis, maybe. Trunks and stuff, maybe a little bit more because of the thing, but 25 euros to make. 25 euros to make, and then you spend, I mean, it's crazy to me, which makes me rethink a lot of, because obviously it is just, I mean, it's just canvas, right? It's just painted canvas. It's not even like a lot of leather, and the leather ones are more expensive, but even like leather stuff is not that. You're paying a lot for the name, basically, which we know. It's luxury. You're paying for the name, you're paying for the status, you're paying for the look, you're paying for the blah, 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 blah. But it's like, when I heard that, I was like, I think there are other things he told me, but I can't remember right now. And there's probably more to these stories, but I can't remember right now. And I'm getting really tired because it's going to be a very long video. As a gist of my Goyard experience, I'm going to go back in January and get a whole new crop of stuff. Oh yeah, but at the Printemps store, they also like, yeah. So because I didn't have my ID, he couldn't create a new account for me, and he wouldn't be able to pull, he needed some sort of verifying ID. I could have came back later for the VAT with my passport. You didn't have to have your VAT. You need your passport for the VAT, but if you don't want to get the VAT, or you still need an ID or a credit card. I only had my credit card with me because we had run and dropped our stuff off and ran back, and I had just brought my 2 credit cards that I kept because I was wary about taking everything with me everywhere all the time, because, which I'll talk about later, but I basically, something got stolen and got robbed while I was in Paris. So I was a little wary about taking everything everywhere. So he wouldn't let me buy it. That, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but like, there's just so much. I feel like there's more that I don't even remember, but I'll probably try to do in another video. But I'm also going to do a what fits in my Nano soon, so you guys can see what fits in that, because that's the cutest thing in the world, and I know you guys all are obsessed with it. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I love Goyard. Oh, I also ran into another woman that had the rose gold one. I ran into 2 people. I saw rose gold in the wild, and I was like, ah! And I did a double take. And this lady, it was a lady, and she was with a guy, and the guy saw mine, and he did a double take too, and he was like staring at me walking away, and I was just staring at hers. And then I ran into another lady at Louis Vuitton who's from San Francisco, who has the rose gold one too. She complimented mine, and she has it too. And then my friend ran into somebody in Florida, in Miami, who had the rose gold one too. I have to tell you about my Goyard Miami experience. That's gonna be another video too. Okay, the rose gold, she had the rose gold one, and then she had the Saint Leger in the burgundy backpack, which I do love my Saint Leger too. Okay, Printemps individually wrapped them. Okay, yeah, if you have any questions about Goyard in France, let me know. I had all the answers. I'm also going to do another video of Goyard. I'm going to do a what fits in my bag in this, what fits in my bag in this, what fits in this, what fits in that up there, what fits in that. So many things coming up, guys. I'm also, please check out my Instagram, please check out my YouTube shorts, and check out my TikTok, and follow me on all those places, because I'm posting content there that's funny and short and fun and different than this long form content. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, please tell me other things. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like that video, please consider subscribing. Please smash that like button. Please share with your friends and family. If you hated it, share with your enemies and exes. I know your time is valuable. I know your time is precious. So I appreciate you spending your time here with me. Thank you guys so much. Love you.